Brad makes a big effort to spoil the kids when they hang out, says the source. He orders their favorite foods and makes the most of those few hours. Brad doesn't make his dealings with the kids public. He's very private and does everything he can not to be photographed, says the second source, claiming that Angelina is the opposite. The eternal star is very aware of when she's being watched and is cognizant of her image as a doting mom. The insider points out that Angelina has a public-facing role outside of her acting work, having spent more than 20 years working with the UN Refugee Agency. After the incident on the plane, she shifted her focus to also supporting survivors of domestic violence and children impacted by abuse in America, the source says. Multiple sources say Brad blames Angelina for the tense family dynamics. He feels that the negative narrative Angelina presents to the kids is a major obstacle in his efforts to reconnect, explains the first source. With Angelina having daily influence over the children, Brad finds it nearly impossible to change their perceptions. The fifth source says, this is textbook parental alienation, and claims Angelina targeted Shiloh from the start because she was the closest to Brad. Angelina, meanwhile, is adamant the kids have made up their own minds. They know what they saw. For anyone to suggest she's controlled them is off base, says the third source. According to the insider, Brad blaming Angelina for the fallout with his children is off base. You don't get to physically assault your wife and kids, then sue her and say, "But she turned my kids against me." That's not okay. He's still trying to punish her for standing up against his abuse, explains the insider. He really just needs to let her go and, most importantly, finally let their children heal and find peace. This has been Angelina's priority all along. The war between the exes rages on. In 2022, Brad sued Angelina for selling her stake in Chateau Miraval, estimated to be worth $500 million, to a Russian billionaire. This April, in court filings related to the case, Angelina's legal team leveled new claims at Brad, alleging he was physically abusive toward Angelina well before the family's September 2016 plane trip. In May, Brad's lawyers submitted a declaration from security company owner Tony Webb, who worked for Angelina from 2000 until 2020, claiming she encouraged the children to avoid spending time with Brad during his custody visits. Brad's hopeful the kids will come around in time. He's apologized profusely for his past actions and acknowledges his anger issues and the influence of alcohol on his behavior, says the first source, noting that the actor cleaned up his life by getting sober and starting therapy shortly after his split from Angelina. In a 2017 GQ interview, he admitted to his shortcomings as a parent. "I grew up with a father knows best/war mentality, instead of really knowing the man and his own self-doubt and struggles. And it's hit me smack in the face with our divorce. I gotta be more. I gotta be more for them. I have to show them. And I haven't been great at it." While Brad's strained relationship with his children remains a source of sorrow, he's found joy in other areas of his life. He's been busy working on his upcoming Formula One racing movie, and his thriller Wolves with longtime pal George Clooney is set to premiere in September. He's also found love with jewelry designer Inz de Ramon, whom he's been dating since November 2022. His career and relationship are in a great place, says the third source, but he's desperate for peace with his kids.